Hey everyone, welcome to All Techies. In today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how you can create an emoji-based rating bar where you'll use just motion layout to achieve all these things, where not only rating, but you'll also change and animate the emojis all through the motion layout. No seek bar, no scrollable content. And let me show you what I'm saying. So you can see here on screen at the left side there's an emoji, and on top of it there's one written with a red color background. This one indicates the rating, the current rating. Now as I move this emoji from left to right, you can see that the size of this emoji is getting reduced and then coming back to its original size. Also, the emoji was different before, now it's different. So it's not only animating, but it's also changing the emoji. Plus on the top you can also see that the background color, while changing it, is animating, and then finally changing the text. So this thing is done using an image view and a text view. That's it. From this animation till the rating on top, this is all part of motion layout. And let's see how we can build this. So switch to the XML file and add the image view and text view. As I said, it's just these two views which is doing all the work here. For text view, I have defined the constraint right here in this XML because I'm not going to change the location of this. Neither the width, height, everything is going to remain same. So that's why I have defined the constraint for this text view right in this XML. But for image view, I'm going to change its position as it animates from left to right. So that's why I haven't defined any constraints for the image view. This has been added in the motion scene. So let's see the motion scene file because this is doing all the work. One thing with the scene file is that you can add any number of transition. So it's not like limited to only one transition per scene file. And here we are using multiple transition. Like I can show you, here is one transition and here is another transition, and likewise we have multiple transition. So what this one is doing is, like you can see that transition start, which is nothing but this rating 1. So at the bottom I have defined the constraint set. That's something which you have to specify here, and then where it should end. So my first transition is to go from rating 1 to rating 2 with a duration of 100 milliseconds, which means 1 second. And on swipe, this is doing all the work. This is where I'm specifying that when I'm dragging towards the right of the screen, then do this transition. On touch up, it is decelerate and complete. So something which you can see it now, like when I'm animating it as I leave. So it is decelerating it and then coming back to its original position. The size which is getting reduced when it comes to the 50% of the animation, that is all because of the keyframe set, where I've given like whenever the frame position is 50, then scale down to the 50%, means normal is 1.0. I'm saying that 0.5, so reduce the width and height by half. One thing to remember here is that I'm not saying it again to come back to original size. I've just specified it that at frame number 50, means 50% of this animation, I want this to scale down. But nowhere I have mentioned that again scale up to 1.0. And that's all because whatever you specify here inside this keyframe set, these are all temporary, which means that this only works when you're animating the things. So once your animation of the view is done, it comes back to its original shape and size, whatever you defined in the constraint set. So this originally doesn't change anything. It's just while animating, it can alter the view width, height, size, visibility, all sort of things only during animation. So this is one transition, which is going from rating 1 to rating 2. Now here is another one, which is going from 2 to 3. This part is exactly same. No changes in that. Then 3 to 4. again same thing, and finally 4 to 5. So these are the transition which I have added. Now the main thing here is after transition it is this constraint set. Now this constraint set is really important. All the animations which you are seeing, this is done because of whatever constraint which you define inside this constraint set. So let me talk about this image view. As I said that for this XML, I haven't defined the constraint in this layout, all because I've defined it in the motion scene, which is here. Specify the ID. This ID has to be same as the ID of this image view because I want to do for this image view, otherwise I would have done for this text view also. But currently I want to alter this image view, width, height, location, all sort of things. So I've given the ID for this, specified the width and height as 8080, and I want this to start from the left of the screen. So start to the start of parent and to the end of parent, so that I could have a biasness of 0. This biasness is really a good concept of constraint layout, where what you can do is that you can define in terms of percentage that where do you want this view to move. So 0 means 0%, because this is a horizontal view, and 0 means 0% of the screen. 10 means that from the left side of the screen move towards right by 10%. So currently when we have rating as 1, so bias is 0, which is the current view of the screen, as you can see on screen here. Next is on the TV rate. As I said that for this I do not want to change the width, height and background. All sort of things here is same except this background. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to take this ID, here it is, constraint this ID, without touching the width, height or the constraint. I'm just changing the background color and text, and that we can do by using custom attributes. So this is how you see it on screen, which is the current view on screen which you're seeing. When you have a rating as 1, the background color is red and text is 1, and the position of this view is at the left of the screen. Now when it is rate 2, so this is another constraint set, which means that initially we are moving from rating 1 constraint set to rating 2 constraint set, because everything is remaining quite same. So you could see the same layout, same screen here, except this biasness. Here what I'm saying is that earlier it was 0%, it means touching the left of the screen. Now from the left side move towards right by 25%. Also change the background color to orange and change the text to 2. So as I take it to the right of the screen, you could see this. The text is getting changed to 2 and the background color is also changing. Now how do this emoji is changing? That code is not written here. That I'll show you later on. Same is true for the rating 3 and then this rating 4. Now how do I'm changing this image? Currently MotionLayout doesn't support this feature where you can set an image directly with custom attribute. So how to do this? One way is to do it programmatically. And here I'm doing it using programmatical way, where on this ML rating, which is nothing but the ID which you have specified for the motion layout, on that ID add the transition listener. As soon as the transition is completed, that means once you move from transition start to transition end, which is nothing but this, initially this one, you start from rate 1 and move to rate 2. So as soon as you move to rate 2, this will get called. And now on this ML rating, when you call the current state, it's going to tell you that it's on which state, rate 1, rate 2, rate 3, rate 4, rate 5, likewise. Based on that, I'm setting the image view. So that's it in this video. I hope this might be useful for you to understand about the motion layout, how you can set a transition listener in code and also change the background of the view, text for the text view, and change the positions. Also, how you can add multiple transitions all through the code. So if you have liked this video, then hit the like button, subscribe the channel, and do share it with your friends. Thank you so much, and stay tuned for the upcoming video.